Christian Horner has expanded on his earlier claim that an unnamed rival team contacted several of Red Bull's sponsors in the wake of last year's budget cap saga. Christian Horner has opened up on his earlier claim that an unspecified rival team contacted Red Bull sponsors in the wake of last year's budget cap saga. Red Bull were, of course, penalized by the FIA in October of last year for breaching cost cap regulations during the 2021 season in which Max Verstappen won his maiden Drivers' Championship title. They were given a relatively modest fine of around £5.6 million and had a limit on their wind tunnel testing time imposed for a 12-month period, despite several rival teams calling for the FIA to make an example of them in order to deter future breaches. Horner went on to spark confusion last month during an interview with I when he claimed that another F1 team contacted Red Bull sponsors, as reports followed suggesting the unnamed rival tried to steal them in the midst of the drama, although he has since cleared things up by shedding more light on the situation. It wasn't about stealing sponsors, Horner told Sky Sports. I think what you're referring to was a reference that several of our sponsors were contacted by one of our rival teams saying that we were perhaps bringing them into disrepute, so that was I think the comment that you were referring to. Horner then issued a coy response when asked to name the team he was referring to, adding, "I'll let your imagination run wild." Red Bull have made a near-perfect start to the 2023 campaign in spite of the sanctions handed down to them by the FIA after winning each of the first 3 races, which has given them a healthy 58-point lead over second-placed Aston Martin in the Drivers' Championship standings. Horner believes that Red Bull's lack of wind tunnel hours could come back to haunt them later in the year, though, with their rivals able to keep improving at a quicker rate in order to close the gap over the coming months. We have to remember that other upgrades are coming through with other teams, he explained. We have a significant disadvantage in the amount of wind tunnel time and our development capacity this year, and therefore whilst we have a competitive car, it's important we get those points on the table as quickly as we can. Rather than full components, it's bits and pieces and it's part of the evolution of the season. Each team will pick and choose where they want to bring these things in, that's what we've picked. I think they, Ferrari and Mercedes, are probably saving for something fairly more significant. From what we hear, of course, the cost of that is significant. Therefore, they're probably bundling up into one major package rather than drip feeding.